Hello everybody, Graham Elwood, Political Vigilante here. I'm with Michelle. We were just at the climate strike protest, and you are with the Revolutionary Communist Party of Los Angeles or America?
I'm a supporter of the Revolutionary Communist Party of the USA, and I'm a supporter of the leader of that party, whose name is Baba Bakian, and I'm a member of the Revolution Club in Los Angeles.
And what are your guys' basic principles?
Our basic principle, we have 6 points of attention, which some of them are basically like fighting for a world without borders, fighting for a world where all the chains are broken, where women, men, and differently gendered people are equals and comrades, Those are some of the principles, but the basic understanding of the system of capitalism, imperialism, needs to be overthrown, right? Because it is a system that was founded on slavery and genocide, and now we're faced with a fascist in the White House, that actually does see fascism as an actual resolution to putting an end to basically resolve these, what we call these 5 stops, right? Which is basically like the horrific crimes that are being committed on the people of the world, right? Including the destruction of the environment, including women's oppression, black and brown people's oppression, the wars for empire, and so that's who we are, right? And the leader of the revolution, Baba Bakian, has written a constitution for a new socialist republic in North America. What that society will look like after the revolution.
So what is that basically? What would it look? So you guys are for nonviolent revolution, or?
Well, right now, because we are not at a revolution is an all-out war, right, for power, and when we're talking about that, you have the military, you have the police, you have their courts that actually enforce the system, right? When somebody will try to seize power, they're going to respond with violence, they're going to respond with murder, they're going to respond with all of that, right? And we're fighting, in that future revolutionary situation, we would actually be fighting with the interests of all of humanity in mind, right? Not just Americans. And so, and we're not there yet, right? But we are waging a political war, right? At this point, a political war, right? Where lots of people are actually stuck in this mentality that that this is the best that it could be, right? That we could just reform the system, that we could vote for AOC, vote for Bernie Sanders, right? And we're saying no, right? All of these people are representatives of a system of capitalism and imperialism that commits crime after crime against humanity, and we can't just rely on them. We actually got to go for power, right? That's ultimately what we're talking about, going for state power, replacing that system with a different system that actually is in the interest of humanity. And I can't break down the whole constitution because it is a very lengthy and very thorough constitution that people should check out. Go to revcom.us and read it there. It's free online, right? People can read about how we would organize the society, a different economic system, a different a different system, right, where people are actually put to go to work, right, on transforming society, right?
So I totally understand the, because I've had this discussion with numerous friends of mine, is can electoral politics change how bad it is right now with capitalists and the imperialism, and can electing somebody like Bernie Sanders do it? So if you don't think that could work, like if you don't think electoral politics can make the change, what specifically would do it? What do you think would work?
At this very moment where a fascist is in the White House, and look, you could vote in fascism, but you can't vote it out, right? And at this point, they're actually, they pose a catastrophic danger to humanity and the planet. And we do have to act now, right? Not waiting until 2020 and try to elect another, there's a major difference between the Democrats and the fascists in the White House right now, right? And fascism is actually like looking at what happened in Nazi Germany under Hitler, right? That's without exaggeration, except the difference here is that this lunatic in the White House has his finger on the nuclear trigger, right? And in the most powerful country in the world, right? And so it's much more dangerous, right? And so what we're saying is right now, right, we can't wait for the elections. We can't wait on any of these politicians. We got to take to the streets in nonviolent, sustained protests, right now. Right, we kicked off this campaign called Out Now, the Refuse Fascism did, right? Calling for the basic message is Trump Pence out now. And building the kind of protests like they did in Puerto Rico, like they did in Hong Kong, like they're doing now in Lebanon, right? People in the streets, protesting and demanding that the people in power step down, right? And only the power of the people can do that.
By like shutting things down, like blocking and protesting, and not just like an organized protest with permits, but you're talking about like...
I'm talking about millions of people that break out of their business as usual, that that don't go to school, that don't go to work, that get in the streets and stay in the streets, right? And people can go on YouTube right now or go all over social media and view the little videos of the joyfulness in Lebanon where people are actually protesting, right? Where they're actually fighting for something different, right? What the people in Puerto Rico are like they did, right? And actually in Puerto Rico they drove out their governor in 12 days. And here you have
Yeah, we're back. My phone died. It got too hot out here. So I know we were just talking about basically you and this organization thinks that we need to like shut stuff down. Electoral politics isn't going to get it done. We can't fix it from within. It just needs to be. People just basically need to take to the streets like they've been doing in all those other cities that you've mentioned.
Right. At this point, right, where we actually are confronted with a fascist in the White House, right? Donald Trump and his whole fascist regime, where they're actually gutting the rule of law, right? They're getting rid of all the democratic normals that we know, right? And at this point, there is a real possibility that if in 2020 he actually does get, he could either get reelected, or if he doesn't get reelected, he might refuse to step down. And he's made several, hints towards that, right?
Right.
In saying that he has, the bikers for Trump, the police behind him, that he has, all his supporters behind him, which is true. We were actually viciously assaulted on October 19th, myself and another lovely comrade of mine at Santa Monica Pier, where we kicked off this Out Now campaign, and the Trump supporters, the fascist thugs, actually came to that protest with a specific aim to shut it down. They came with bear repellent, which they sprayed on the whole crowd, and after viciously taking us to the ground, beating us, and going after somebody who is an Iraq war veteran. And they hate him because he's actually came back and switched sides, right? Where now he's actually calling out the crimes of the American military, the American system, and actually calling on people to do away with this American chauvinism and to get on the side of humanity, right? They hate him for that. They hate him. They call him a race traitor. They've called him numerous things, right? And they're actually targeting him. He's been doxxed, and these are people that are being unleashed by Donald Trump, right? Going back to his campaign, when he said, "I long for the days when protesters were carried out on stretchers." He said, "Beat the shit out of them. I'll pay for your legal fines." And this is what they're doing now, right? Where these protests are coming out, right? The impeachment protests, right? The impeachment inquiry, right? And now protests in the streets calling for the removal of this Trump-Pence regime that they are not going to let happen, right? And so the way that we fight this back is by more people into the streets, right? Calling for the removal of this regime in a non-violent and sustained protest, right? We are committed at this point to being non-violent, because that is the way that we're actually going to bring people out into the streets and actually to do our, get to where we actually want to be, which is the removal of this Trump-Pence regime from office.
All right, and where can people go if they're interested to know more about your organization?
So they should go to two places. For one is the Revolutionary Communist Party and supporters, the website is revcom.us. That's where you learn more about this leadership of Baba Bacon, or you read his works, you get a deep analysis of the situation in the world and what we're doing about it. That's revcom.us. And then for this movement to drive out the Trump-Pence regime in mass sustained protests in the streets, go to refusefascism.org. Here in Los Angeles, every Saturday we're at MacArthur Park at 7th and Alvarado at 2 p.m. every Saturday, from now until the 16th of November. And then people should check back to refusefascism.org to see what other cities are doing.
All right, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I was just at this rally, and I saw them speak, and I wanted to hear more about what they were about. So check it out for yourself and make your own decisions. Thanks for supporting the show.